friends. Welcome to Pajama Prayers. It's so good to have you with me tonight. I've looked forward to it all week, so I'm glad you're here with me. We have a great show planned, and we're going to get started with a game of hidden pictures. Are you ready to play? Good luck to you.
Can you find what's hidden in this picture? Can you find the horseshoe? What about the golf club? Can you find a boomerang? Do you see an open book? Do you see an envelope? What about the pitcher? Can you find a salt shaker? Do you see a hockey stick? Can you find a mitten? Where is the banana? What about a scarf? Can you find a slice of pizza? What about a ruler? Do you see a waffle? Can you find a pumpkin? Can you find a pencil? What about a coat hanger? Can you find the pliers? Do you see a candle? Can you see a ring? Can you find a baseball bat? Where is the sock? Where's the ear of corn? Now find the rake. Can you find a saucepan? Can you find the comb? Good job!
Well, that fishing pier looked a little bit crowded, but it looked like everyone was having a good time. I hope you enjoyed that puzzle. We're going to move on to our story. Our story for tonight is titled Scuffy the Tugboat, and it is one of my favorite. Let's watch. Scuffy the Tugboat. Scuffy was sad. Scuffy was cross. Scuffy sniffed his blue smokestack. A toy store is no place for a red-painted tugboat, said Scuffy, and he sniffed his blue smokestack again. I was meant for bigger things. Perhaps you would not be cross if you went sailing, said the man with the polka dot tie who owned the shop. So one night he took Scuffy home to his little boy. He filled the bathtub with water. Sail, little tugboat, said the little boy. I won't sail in a bathtub, said Scuffy. A tub is no place for a red-painted tugboat. I was meant for bigger things. Well, the next day, the man with the polka dot tie and the little boy carried Scuffy to the laughing brook that started high in the hills. Sail, little tugboat, said the boy. It was spring, and the brook was full to the brim with its water, and the water moved in a hurry as all things move in a hurry when it is spring, and Scuffy was in a hurry too. Come back, little tugboat! Come back! Cried the little boy, as the hurrying, brimful brook carried Scuffy downstream. Not I, tooted Scuffy, not I. This is the life for me. Well, all that day Scuffy sailed along with the brook, past the meadows filled with cowslips, past the women washing clothes on the bank, and past the little woods filled with violets. Cows came to the brook to drink. They stood in the cool water, and it was fun to sail around between their legs and bump softly into their noses. It was fun to see them drink. But when a white and brown cow almost drank Scuffy instead of the brook's cool water, Scuffy was frightened. That was not fun. Night came, and with it the moon. There was nothing to see but the quiet trees. Suddenly, an owl called out, cried the frightened tugboat, and he wished that he could see the smiling face of the man with the polka dot tie. When morning came, Scuffy was cross instead of frightened. I was meant for bigger things. But which way am I to go? He said. But there was only one way to go, and that was with the running water, where the two brooks met to form a small river. And with the river sailed Scuffy, the red-painted tugboat. He was proud when he sailed past villages. "People build villages at the edge of my river," said Scuffy, and he straightened his blue smokestack. Once Scuffy's river joined a small one jammed with logs. Here were men in heavy jackets and great boots walking about on the floating logs, trying to pry them free. "Let me through!" demanded Scuffy, but the men paid no attention to him. They pushed the logs apart so they would drift with the river to the sawmill in the town. Scuffy bumped along with the jostling logs. "Ouch!" he cried as two logs bumped together. "This is a fine river," said Scuffy, "but it's very busy and very big for me." He was proud when he sailed under the bridges. "My river is so wide and so deep that people must build bridges to cross it." The river moved through the big towns now instead of villages, and the bridges over it were very wide. Wide enough so that many cars and trucks and streetcars could cross all at once. The river got deeper and deeper. Scuffy didn't have to tuck up his bottom. The river moved faster, faster. "I feel like a train instead of a tugboat," said Scuffy as he was hurried along. He was proud when he passed the old sawmill with its water wheel. But high in the hills and mountains, the winter snow melted. Water filled the brooks and rushed from there into the small rivers. Faster and faster it flowed to the great river where Scuffy sailed. "There is too much water in this river," said Scuffy as he pitched and tossed on the waves. "Soon it will splash over the top, and what a flood there will be." Soon, great armies of men came to save the fields and towns from the rushing water. They filled bags with sand and put them at the edge of the river. "They're making higher banks for the river," shouted Scuffy, "to hold the water back." The water rose higher and higher. The men built the sandbags higher and higher. Higher went the river. Higher went the sandbags. At last, the water rose no more. The flood water rushed on to the sea, and Scuffy raced along with the flood. The people and the fields and the towns were safe. On went the river to the sea. At last, Scuffy sailed into a big city. Here the rivers widened, and all about were docks and wharfs. Oh, it was a busy place and a noisy place. The cranes groaned as they swung the cargoes into great ships. The porters shouted as they carried suitcases and boxes on board. Horses stamped, and truck motors roared. Streetcars clanged, and people shouted. Scuffy said, but nobody noticed. "Oh, oh," cried Scuffy when he saw the sea. "There is no beginning and there is no end to the sea. I wish I could find the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy." Just as the little red-painted tugboat sailed past the last piece of land, a hen reached out and picked him up. And there was the man with the polka dot tie, with his little boy beside him. Scuffy is home now with the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy. he sails from one end of the bathtub to the other. "This is the place for a red-painted tugboat," said Scuffy. "And this is the life for me." The end. Poor Scuffy. He had to learn the hard way to be content. Have you ever thought something was so much better than what you have and you just wanted it, only to find out that it wasn't all that good? In fact, it wasn't even good for you. That's kind of what happened with Scuffy. I'm glad he learned the lesson, though. Our scripture verse tonight comes from the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, "For I have learned to be content." In other words, I have learned to be satisfied with where God has me in life. And boys and girls, that's a very good rule to follow, to be satisfied with the blessings God has given you. Well, we're all out of time, so turn to someone and say, "You are worth more than you know, capable of more than you think, and loved more than you can imagine." Good night.